This video is going to be slightly different, people. It is going to be about all these books because this is what I plan on reading in December, but it's also going to be about something important to us, something that we've waited for a long time to decide whether we're going to do or not, and that is rehoming a dog. Now, this beauty here is called Missy. She's a 2.5-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and today I'll be taking you along to see if we can go meet her. But if you are new to this channel, I am just a regular dude, 35-year-old bloke who just loves reading books and talking about them online. I have no preferred genres. I read whatever the hell I want as long as it makes me feel happy. Now, if you're returning, you already know I love you to pieces, and I truly appreciate the support that you give me every single time you check into one of these videos. I'm going to start this video by talking about the books, because I appreciate not everyone's going to want to listen to me absolutely pouring my heart out about why we need another dog in our life. So, these books are what I plan on reading this month, starting with 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tillie Cole. Never read anything from this author before, but I went into Waterstones recently and I says, listen, Duck, I am 3 weeks off medication and I'm starting to feel emotions again. This is fantastic. Can you give me a book that'll make me cry? She's like, for £5, you're not going to cry anymore. Like, you need this book. So I was like, okay, I guess the jar on the front of the cover is probably to catch all my tears. I ain't got a clue what it's about. After reading the back of it, it seems like it's about two children, or at least to start off as children, Poppy and Rune, who are next door neighbours. They're 5 years old when they meet, and then it's their life as they go on. I'm guessing they probably drift apart as they get older, then meet up again. And it's maybe a love story. I don't know, but I'm here to cry. Next up, we have got Abby Jimenez's Just for the Summer. Now, last month I read Part of Your World and Yours Truly by this woman, and they were just insane. Honestly, they were fantastic. Controversially, I think I actually preferred Part of Your World. Loads of people always say Yours Truly is best, and I think that's because Jacob, who's the main male character in that, is perfect. If my daughter, when she's older, brings a Jacob kind of character home, I'll propose for my daughter, because she's that class. He's insane. But the banter in Part of Your World were just a bit better. I'm told this is equally as class, and I really can't wait to get into this one. If you've not tried romance, just try them. Her characters that she writes are wicked. Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. I'm not going to go on about this one too much because I've mentioned it in a few previous videos. M.L. Wang wrote The Sword of Kagan. That book slapped. It was a 5-star read for me, and I'm guessing this book's going to be equally as good. I'm excited to read that because it's my book club read on Fable this month. Iron Flame. I'm going to have to read this month. I've put it off for a while for a few reasons. One, she's a thick one. Like, I get scared of size. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's just like 750 pages long. And in my head, when I'm reading a 750-page book, I think, I could read 2 books in that time. But that's not the main reason I put it off. It was because I read Fourth Wing and absolutely loved it because there's dragons in it. That's what dragons do when they breathe fire. But I got loads of messages from people and they said, Tyrone, don't read Iron Flame yet because Onyx Storm's not out till Jan and Iron Flame finishes on a minging cliffhanger. So I've put it off for a while. I'll probably read this towards the end of the month in time for Onyx Storm so I can just dive straight into Onyx Storm. So I am excited for that. I just don't know why I get scared of massive books. Last one that I plan on reading this month is Deja Dead by Kathy Reichs. I went into Waterstones and one of the lovely booksellers at Waterstones says, can I help you? So I said, yeah, of course you can. Let's have a chat. I love crime books and I need another crime book to add to my collection. She says, try Kathy Reichs. She's the author that is behind the Bones series, which is a TV series that I've never actually watched. But I do know that it's about, like, they find people that have been sent to Jesus and then they're like, oh, what's happened here? But rather than just doing what they normally do in police procedural books where they, like, get all DNA and stuff and send it off and they go, eat on it. This one, they put all the bones back together and they try and use the bones to figure out what happened. So it's not just like, yeah, there's a bit of sperm there. You slept with her. Got him. It's different and it sounds exciting for me. And because I've not watched the TV series, I'm not going to have a clue what's happening. I don't know if they're loosely based or if they're actually accurate book to TV series, but I'm not going to have a clue what's going on. The only thing that's putting me off a little bit is that font. You see it? That's not the kind of font that I normally read. And you might be like, Tyrone, you're crazy. Look, I've just come off medication. Of course I'm crazy. That's the font I normally read. So yeah, I've got to see past the font. But they're the books that I plan on reading this month. That's realistic for me. I'm not the person that will read 12 books a month like some people do. I'm not the quickest of readers, but I also have to live life a little bit as well. I've got a family, my dog needs walking, I've got a life, I have to life. So yeah, that's realistic. If I can squeeze another one in, it's going to be based on what you're about to help me with now. So I woke up this morning and I thought, I'm in the mood for Love Actually. I don't know if you've seen the film Love Actually, but it's a Christmas film. It's like a UK Christmas film. And it's just got all the vibes. Like everything you want in a film is there. It is this one. Oh, terrible picture, but that's it. So I woke up this morning, I was like, I want a book that is similar to that. And I know some of you will probably say, Tyrone, that's actually a book. I don't want to read the book because obviously I'm going to know what's happening because I've seen the film. So I want something similar, something Christmassy, something maybe a little bit funny, quirky, but also romantic. I know I'm not asking for a lot, but if you've got any Christmas recommendations, then give them me because, yeah, I'm in a Christmas mood. What's your favourite Christmas song? Mine is the Kelly Clarkson one. See if I can find it. It gets me every time. I don't even know the words for it, but I just go... on Christmas Day. That's the only bit I know. If you've not figured it out by now, then I'm just... moment's gone. Anyway, I really like that song. Now, talking about the dog situation. So me and Ellie, who is my wife, have been talking for a while now about getting another dog. Last August, we lost Tia, who was our 12-year-old American Pit Bull Terrier. We still have Sky. Sky's our 11-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier. But when we lost Tia, it broke us, like genuinely. It hit me harder than I thought it would. When we had to send her to heaven, we went on our own. We took Sky with us, and after it had happened, they sent us away. They just said, look, don't pay today, come back and pay another day. So we're both in bits. It was horrible. If anyone's been through that, then yeah, it's tough to watch. So we wanted to sit on that for a bit because at the time when I watched Tia go, I didn't think that we, or at least me personally, I didn't think I could go through that again. I didn't want to get another dog and bring another dog into our life knowing that I was probably going to have to watch that happen again. But then, I don't know, over this last year, I've realised that, for me at least, I think that's quite a selfish thought to have, because there's so many dogs out there that need rescuing, need homes, and we've got a home that can provide everything that a dog needs. So over the last few months, me and Ellie have toyed with the idea about different breeds, what we want to bring into the home, and we'd agreed that we want another Staffordshire Bull Terrier because Sky's a Staffy. If anyone's had Staffies before, you'll know that there's probably not a better family dog that you can ever have. I've had a lot of different breeds throughout my life, but I was just conscious about what breed would fit into our circumstances as well as us being able to offer the best for that dog. Now, the reason we've gone for a Staffy is, one, they don't need walking as much as some other breeds. Now, Sky downstairs is, like I said, she's nearly 12, so she gets a walk a day. We could do 2 walks a day, it's not an issue, but other dogs that we were looking at, like Cockapoos and Springer Spaniels, they need a lot of time and attention when it comes to walking. And we've got kids as well, so we've got to try and build that in. So we decided on a Staffy, and then we came across a website. One of Ellie's friends used to volunteer at this company called Ashbourne Animal Welfare, and it was almost by fate that she sent us a link and said, have you ever thought about doing this? Because we're looking at the RSPCA and we're like, no, never even heard of it. So we're scrolling through all these dogs and we're like, oh, let's just rehome them all, let's have all of them. And we came across Missy, and when we clicked on Missy's profile, there are all the photos of Missy, got that big Staffy grin, and I was just like, we've obviously got to have her. It's not just that we've got to have her, like, Missy needs us. There she is, look, what a beaut. So anyway, I rang this company up and they didn't answer, so I left them a voicemail. I was like, hi, it's Tyrone, Missy's future dad. I'm just ringing you to let you know, Missy needs us and we need Missy. And then they left me a voicemail and said, look, Tyrone, you're going to have to fill an application form in. But then I went on their Facebook page and I saw that they've got an open day today, which is rare. They don't normally do these. You usually go and see these dogs by appointment. So Ellie and the kids are just at church at the minute. When they get back from church, we're all going. We've all got Christmas jumpers and we're trying to, like, make a, for occasion, make an effort. So I've got my aftershave on, smelling good. I'm going to be going up to him going, hi, my name's Tyrone. I've got Versace on. Please let me have my dog. So we're going to meet Missy today, and I'm so excited. It's not like an official we go meet Missy, she meets us. It's just an open day we go around. We've already got our eye on Missy. We already know we want to bring Missy into this house, and I'm just so excited. So that's the plan for the day. Not all my videos are going to be like this, but I'm hoping you'll just accept this as a one-off, because this is such a big part of my life, of our life. And I want to show real life on this page. I don't just want to show books and book recommendations. You can get book recommendations anywhere, but what you can't get in many places at minute online, frustratingly, is real life. I struggle a lot to engage with content online because it's usually beautiful aesthetics, fantastic bookshelves, beautiful houses, and that's just not me. You know, I don't have aspirations to own a 4 or 5 bedroom beautiful house. I live in a 2-bedroom council house, and I'm actually quite happy. The only thing I would like is maybe an extra toilet, because I'm sick of going to the toilet, and then the second I sit down, kids are going, "Dad, I need toilet." My bookshelf behind me, this one's from a charity shop, 15 quid. My other one over there is Billy bookshelf from IKEA. So I want to share this part of life with you, because I'm a big believer that these are properly terrible for your mental health. Like, sitting on phones can be terrible for your mental health. I just think it puts you into a scroll hole where you look at everyone's life online and it just makes you feel bad about your own. Now, hopefully, watching my videos, it might give you a bit of something different. You'll see mould on my ceiling, and you'll see a bit of mess in bedroom and mucky pots, and you'll realise, actually, yeah, that is real life, because real life ain't what we're seeing online. Like, people online come on and they show such a small little pocket of real life that I think sometimes we forget that, yeah, what you are living now is real life. You should never feel bad about your reality, because what you see online really is not reality. So I'm going to shut up babbling now anyway, because I've took up a fair chunk of your time. I'm going to start reading a bit more of this Tillie Cole book, because it seems cracking, and then I'll take this camera with me and we'll record some footage and hopefully get to meet Missy. How exciting is this? Oh, dogs and books are just class. Yes! We're here and it's rammed. It's almost like they knew we were coming. Oh, well, he's got me a chocolate, because if you look here, look. That's a book shed. So I'll have a look at that after. Kids' toys, but it's right busy. There's people everywhere. Dogs everywhere. Right nice. I expected them to have Missy just stood there waiting for us. They ain't got a clue as to where they're coming, but all these people around here that I can see, look how busy it is. All these here. You know what they are? Competition. I'm going to beat them. I've just got a gap between crying, and I need to talk to you about this book, because it's horrific. There's just nothing positive about this book. I picked it up off the back of someone recommending that I read it as a nice romance book. It's not a nice romance book. It actually rips your heart out, and there's just nothing good about it at all. Not only does it rip your heart out, it rips it out in chapter 1. And then every chapter after that almost seems like the author's challenging us to see how much she can kick you at knackers. And she does it all the time. My head hurts, my heart hurts, my eyes are hurting, I've got snot coming down my face. It's just not a fun experience. I don't mind books or films where maybe like a bit of a slow burn for heartbreak, and it comes to end and then you're crying and you look minging for half an hour. But I've got snot everywhere. But having snot all over my face and having headaches, I've been crying that much when I'm only 134 chapters in. And every chapter, I'm not even exaggerating, every single chapter I'm having to have a breather, just try and recover. And then I think, actually, next chapter's probably going to be a nice fluffy one. No, it didn't. Nice fluffy chapters in this book don't exist. Every single chapter is just trying to kill you off. So don't read it. Actually, read it if you want your heartbreaking. But if you don't want your heartbreaking, don't read it. It's sick. Tillie Cole, she's a thug. I don't know what she was thinking when she wrote this, but she obviously pissed off with someone. Oh, what a mess. I'm sorry, but it's got me again. This book just makes me want to go and find my wife and cuddle her. Like, she's at work at the minute, and I literally just want to cuddle her. And I get that some people watch this video and be like, dude, it's just a book, it's not real. But this happens, you know. People go through this. Like, right at the start of the book, in chapter 1, she loses her nan, and nan dies. And it's just horrific. And that made me bored, because last year I lost my nan. Well, she wasn't my nan, she's Ellie's nan, but I saw her as my nan. And it was just so real. And this book, the best way I can describe it is it's just real. Like, it just feels like someone's going through this right now. And it feels like you're going through it. And I don't want to go through it. I want to laugh and smile. I might have to just read Dungeon Crawler Carl or something. This is so hard for my heart. My heart hurts. Genuinely, my heart just hurts. You know when you feel sick in your stomach? This book. Some of you called it. It's minging. It's the most emotional book I've ever read. Bar none. Like, no book that I've ever read comes close to how much this book made me cry. Ugly cry. I had snot coming down my face at points. My eyes hurt. My heart hurt. You know when you cry that much, like, your heart really hurts and you're like, I just need someone to help me. At one point, I stopped reading and I went to the cupboard and I got 2 paracetamols to try and get rid of the headache from the dehydration caused by the amount of tears I'd shed over this book. I'll never read anything like this ever again in my entire life. I put a post up 2 days ago. Today is Wednesday. On Monday, I put a post on my socials of a reaction to something at the start of this book, which is nothing compared to end of book. And people were like, Tyrone, you need to read the second book. It's even worse. It's like a journey. And I was like, no, actually, no, I don't. Because if this book's made me this upset, why would I then need to read another book to put me through the same amount of trauma that this book's putting me through? I am a highly emotional person. I'm like my wife when she's hormonal. When she's on a period, that's me, all the time. I can cry at the most stupid things. I'll just have a conversation about something and I'll start crying. So I'm like, oh, I'm so emotional. So no, I think I've realised these kind of books just aren't it for me. I don't need more reason to cry. I can cry on my own without a book. So I'm not going to read the second one. I actually don't want any recommendations for any more books like this because I don't want to cry. And if I do cry, I want to cry for just other reasons other than because this book is forcing me to cry and an author's going, cry Tyrone, cry. And I'm like, okay. I just don't want it. So it put me in a reading slump, this book, for 2 days. I didn't read a book all yesterday or half the day before after I finished this book because I just sat and felt sorry for myself. And then last night I got in bed and I was like, I need to read something different. What can I read that's not going to make me cry? So I picked up Along Came a Spider. I'm actually on chapter 4 now. But the reason I picked this up is because before I got into fantasy and romantasy and stuff, James Patterson was probably the author that got me back into reading as an adult. I had my first daughter at 19, so obviously when you have a kid at that age, you kind of just put your own hobbies on hold. You're like, well, I'll just be a dad. And then through the years, maybe in my mid-20s, I managed to start picking up the odd James Patterson here and there. If we went away on holiday, I'd get one from W.H. Smith's. There's always a W.H. Smith's in airport, isn't there? So I'd get a James Patterson, read it on holiday, and then if I read anything back at home, it'd be Patterson. Police procedurals, out like that. And I found this recently in my local Tesco. You know how Tesco do the tables where you can like drop a quid, drop a penny. Sometimes I actually pretend to drop money in there because I ain't got any change and I've got a book I want. And then I'm like, oh, someone forgive me. I promise I'll give double next time. And I think on this occasion I actually put 20p in because I were like feeling a bit flush. And James Patterson is just that author that I can pick up at any point. I find his books easy to read. I find the twists always class. The chapters are really short. Some of the chapters in this book are like 1 or 2 pages. So this is the first book in his Alex Cross series, which I've actually never read any of. A lot of the books that I've read from him over the last few years have been co-authored. I think this is before he started doing the old co-author stuff and we're just writing on his own. And I'm told that the books that he wrote on his own are actually better than the stuff that he co-authors with other people. So I'm excited to start this. So far, so good. First scene is a bit like, a bit minging. But it's not making me cry, which is fantastic. I'm going to dive into that today and then I'll update you as the story progresses and tell you whether you should read that one or not. So on Sunday we did go and see Missy, the dog that we're looking at rescuing, but we also saw other dogs. I'm not going to update you properly on it all yet because we'd already put the application in for Missy. We saw Missy, she was beautiful. She came up to the gate, she let us stroke her. I could tell already she would literally fit into our life today. However, everyone also seemed to love Missy. It seems like every single person that was at that open day had applied for Missy. So we're walking up and down looking at other dogs and I says to her, let's just have a look around while we're here. And then I saw all other dogs and they were all like, help me. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you can come home. So I'm like, you can come. Ruben saw a greyhound called Magic. He was like, Dad, can we take him home? I was like, it's not that straightforward, dude. We saw another Staffy cross called Eric. We saw a cockapoo called Teddy. We just saw loads of dogs and every single dog I saw I was like, yeah, can I rescue them all? But obviously that's not realistic. So we know what we want as a family. I know what applications we've put in for what dogs, but I just don't want to jinx oats. So I'm not going to tell you today. What I want to do is just let the system do whatever the system needs to do, let it play out, and then if or when we get good news or bad news, I'll just update you that way. I just feel like that's the best way for me to avoid putting like bad omens out into the world. Hello again. I'm going to wrap this video up now because I'm 25% through Along Came a Spider now, and I'm just not going to finish it next day, and it just throws off my posting schedule if I finish that book and then do another segment of the video. But anyway, to finish off this video, I want to talk to you about me coming off antidepressants, because one of the best things and worst things about me coming off antidepressants is the messages that I get from people. And let me explain that. What I mean is I've had an influx of inboxes across all my socials saying, Tyrone, I love how open and honest you are about your mental health and your antidepressants and getting off meds. How do I do it? And all that, like, I love that so much, but I also hate it. The reason I hate it is because I'm a big believer that when it comes to antidepressants and drugs, it's a very personal journey that should only involve you and your doctor. So I'm going to tell you now what I tell everyone, and hopefully I don't need to repeat this. I only show you a part of my life. You know, you only see the things that I choose to let you see. What you've not seen on this page is me crying like a baby on my wife's lap. You've not seen me rocking in the shower telling my wife that I don't want to be here and her having to drag me to the doctors. You've not seen my mother-in-law have to come around and drag me off of a static push bike that I couldn't get off because I said to her, Sam, if I get off this bike, I'm going to end it. And it's things like that that made me want to come off antidepressants. I got so much worse on antidepressants than I did before I was on them. So that's my reasoning for coming off antidepressants. Now, if you're on antidepressants and you are living a quality of life that you want to live, there's no reason, as far as I'm concerned, for you to come off them. If your quality of life is got better because you're on antidepressants, stay on them. If you are living a quality of life that you're not happy with on antidepressants, that is the point when I think you need to speak to your doctor and say, look, doctor, I've got a lot of plans for my life and I just don't think I can do them while I'm on medication. And then your doctor will give you a plan as how to maybe either get you off the meds that you're on and put you on some different meds to try, or just get you medication free. Since I've come off my sertraline, I don't know, I've had like a mental clarity, and I don't want to get all philosophical and stuff, but I'm aware of the beauty around me. I'm just so grateful to be here, because this time 6 months ago, I genuinely didn't think I'd be here. And I get up in the morning now, I look at trees around me. Sorry, I'm just looking out my window now. I look at trees around me, I look at leaves blowing, I look at my dog laid next to me and sleeping. And I'm just so, so grateful. But not everyone's in that place. Some people are where I was 6 months ago. Now, this time 6 months ago, you couldn't peel me out of bed. I'd sit in bed from morning to night, I'd sit and read books, and I'd eat food. And I thought to myself, you know what, this is fine, because I'm not wanting to end it. Like, it doesn't matter how much food I eat to cope with this. It doesn't matter how many books I read to cope with this, because I'm still here and I'm still fighting. And although I'm grateful for that mindset, I almost resent that mindset that I had, because had I maybe tried to tweak some things, I might have just got up a bit. And I think for everyone, it's trying to find what you need to do to get you through that dark time. What I want to try and do now is hopefully be a beacon of light for people that are going through what I went through, but make them realise that reading is absolutely unbelievable. Reading for me, I'd love to say it saved my life, but not reading alone saved my life. The community I built across my different social media platforms, the people I spoke to, that saved my life. I want people to realise that reading is a fantastic escape, but we can't just escape our problems. We also need to deal with them head on. One of my traumas that I've been trying to deal with for the last 12 months is that I was sexually abused as a kid. And that was just something that for 34 years I kept locked away. Didn't deal with that at all. And reading just didn't help me deal with that at all. If anything, reading blocked out them thoughts and feelings, and it made me feel good while I was doing it. But I've come to realise that, I don't know, I just feel like we need to deal with traumas head on. I was speaking to a lovely girl yesterday on TikTok, and she was speaking on a live, and she said to me, Tyrone, I can't leave the house because of X, Y, and Z. And I said, the problem is, if you're constantly telling yourself you can't leave the house because you're anxious, you're just never going to leave the house. I had massive social anxiety this time 4 or 5 months ago. My wife said to me one day, she's like, come on, let's go out the house, we'll go to a quiet cafe. We sat in this quiet cafe, old lady and her grandson, I might have told you a story before, came and sat next to us. I started bawling. The thought of that now, I can't fathom the fact that I couldn't even get out of my house to sit next to an old lady and her grandson without crying. But I truly believe that one of the reasons my social anxiety got as bad as it did is because I did everything I could to protect myself from the anxiety that I had. So for me, going out the house and being around people was something that petrified me. And by putting myself in an environment where I didn't have to face them fears, I just felt comfy all the time, and I just made excuses of why I shouldn't leave the house, why I shouldn't do this, why I shouldn't do that. And it wasn't until, bear in mind I was still on medication when I started having these thoughts, it wasn't until I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to just face my fears, I'm going to have to go out, because this isn't normal. Like, this is not a quality of life that I want to live. I don't want to live the next 30, 40 years stuck in my house reading books. Like, I want to go out and I want to experience the world. I want to go and meet other book lovers. I want to go to bookshops. And that's what I did. And you know what? For the first couple of months, it was bloody hard. Going out and speaking to people. I did it in bursts. There were occasions where we went out for family events and I had to leave, but I still went out. So what I'm trying to say to you is, if you're struggling with anything, mental health, whatever, I just want you to challenge yourself not to just wrap yourself in cotton wool and try and protect yourself from everything that you're anxious about, because I truly believe that only makes your anxieties worse. I was thinking while I went on a bike ride this morning, so I'm trying to get rid of my boobs, like if you're scared of heights and you wanted to overcome that fear, you'd deal with heights, wouldn't you? You know, the only way to overcome a fear of heights is by dealing with that fear. You're never going to overcome a fear of heights by staying on the ground. And I think that's the same for any anxiety that people have got. It's so easy just to try and protect ourselves from fear. But fear is just a normal emotion. You know, without fear, we're not human. It's just a fight or flight instinct. And if you're scared of going out and meeting people, I implore you, just get out and do it, honestly. When I first started going out of the house, I used to take my little stupid camera out in public and I'd record and I'd go into Waterstones. And if I saw someone that were like looking at a book, I'd just go, oh, I've read that book. And I'd force myself to speak to them. And inside, I was shaking. Like, literally, I'm shaking. I'm petrified. But believe it or not, over time, it gets easier and easier and easier. And now, I bloody love it. Honestly, the love I've got for life is just... I'm so grateful for it. And even when I speak about the love, I know there's so many people out there that feel how I felt 6 months ago, and it breaks my heart. I am just such a passionate person, and I'm so sorry that you've had to see me cry, because I'm so happy. I'm in such a good place. But it genuinely makes me so angry that there are people out there that felt how I felt this time 6 months ago, 12 months ago, and I just don't feel like there's support out there for people. And that's why at the end of each month I do like a meet up with followers from my page, where we go and meet up at Rother Valley and we have a little walk around park. And some of them people are scared, they're anxious, they cancel. But, you know, there's more to life than sitting at home reading books and hiding away from people. There's so much more. This life is short. I want you to think back now to your GCSE results at school. I want you to think back to the day you had your first child. I want you to think back to when you passed your driving test, and just think how fast life has gone. Between now and then, this life just absolutely flies by. And I refuse to sit back and watch you people that message me and say I'm really struggling with anxiety. I refuse to sit back and tell you that that's okay, you know, stay at home, because that's not okay. I don't want you staying at home, reading books all the time and hiding away from your anxiety. I want you to get out and challenge yourself. I want you to live this life, because we only get one shot at it. So yeah, I'm so sorry that the end of this video has gone tits up and I've started crying again. You probably figured out by now, I'm a highly emotional person, and I'm so invested in other people. And it's a strength and a weakness, because I'd love to be able to just post videos and make this page about me and bank loads of money from it, but I just can't. I can't do it. I've got kids that watch this. My oldest daughter's 14 and she watches my socials. And if I can do anything from my socials, I can at least show my daughter that you can help people in life, and it can make you feel fantastic. And it does, genuinely it does. I feel so fantastic. I don't miss your comments. When people message me and say, Tyrone, you helped me so much, I might not reply to them all because I'm busy. You know, I've got 3 social media platforms to manage. I've got a family, I've got 3 daughters, I've got a dog, I've got a wife, I've got stuff that I need to do, and there's not enough time in the day for me to get back to all the comments, but I read them, and they mean the world to me. What a way to end this video. Please, please, please do not watch the end of this video and think, oh, I feel so sorry for him, because I am so fantastic. I'm in such a fantastic space. I am so high on life, but I just want everyone else to be bloody high on life. I want you all to feel the way that I feel. And it might take me a year, it might take me 10 years to get there. But look, I'm going to change lives with this platform. And I appreciate that you care enough to come along for the journey. If you've watched till this point, bloody hell, I definitely love you the most today, because this has been a long video. Anyway, I'm going to get off now, read some books, and try and stop crying. See if I can do a video without crying next time. Anyway, I bloody love you and I mean it. See you in a bit.